Jack was born with a face only nightmares could love. Even his own parents couldn't stand to look at him. As he grew older, his features only got worse, and by high school, he had become the target of everyone's mockery. But fate has a twisted sense of humor, because Jack fell in love with Jenny, the most beautiful girl in school. One day, Jack came home to a horror he'd never forget. His parents had taken their own lives, unable to endure the cruelty of online harassment anymore. Devastated, Jack was ready to follow them, until a radiant angel appeared before him. The angel told Jack he'd been chosen as a candidate to become a god, and to prove himself, he could make one wish come true. Without hesitation, Jack wished for love, specifically, for Jenny to fall madly in love with him. With the angel's guidance, Jack fired a red arrow at Jenny. The arrow didn't pierce her flesh, it pierced her heart. Suddenly, the school's most admired girl was hopelessly, obsessively in love with the boy everyone feared. To her, Jack wasn't ugly anymore. He was divine. That was the power of the red arrow, a weapon that could control human emotions completely. At first, Jack reveled in the fantasy. Jenny adored him, obeyed his every word, even kissed him like he was her whole world. But then, in the middle of that perfect moment, Jack caught sight of himself in the mirror, that hideous reflection staring back. And just like that, all the pain and self-loathing came flooding back. Days later, a new national hero called Metrogard appeared. Strong, confident, handsome, everything Jack wasn't. Jack idolized him. He wanted to be just like Metrogard, admired, respected, and loved by all. So he began to change himself. He trained his body, and used the red arrow's power to get world-class surgery. Finally, he became what he always dreamed of, a stunningly handsome man. Now, everywhere he went, women stared in awe. Jack had finally become desirable. But even after becoming beautiful, he didn't know how to talk to women. Every conversation fell apart. Every smile felt fake. No matter how handsome he was, the broken boy inside him never went away. Once again, Jack's world crumbled. One night, as he watched Metrogard on live TV, he saw his hero being beaten within an inch of his life by a man named David. Rage filled Jack's chest. He couldn't let his idol die like that, so Jack made a decision. He would eliminate David himself. Using the red arrow, he tracked down David's family and kidnapped them, setting the perfect trap. When David learned his family had been taken, the calm and composed hero everyone admired disappeared. He charged straight into Jack's lair, blind with desperation. Now only one question remains. Can David save his family, or will Jack's obsession finally destroy everything he ever envied? This zombie wanted to be friends with humans, so he decided to change himself. Every day, he worked out. He even started watching what he ate. After months of tough training, the zombie, Jack, became the leader of his kind. But instead of spreading fear, Jack made new rules. No zombie was allowed to hurt humans. From now on, they'd eat eggs instead of people. To avoid conflict, Jack moved his entire group to a remote area. As their leader, he made sure to buy enough eggs, so no one would starve. And when he wasn't leading, Jack went out helping people. Before long, humans started calling him a hero. No one knew the truth, that Jack was actually a zombie. They thought he was just a guy in a really good mask. The media tried to uncover who he really was, until one day, they saw him lift a truck and fly off with it. He came back later, with that same truck, loaded full of eggs. But even heroes have trouble. One of Jack's top lieutenants, David, lost control and attacked a human. The humans declared war. Jack suggested they move again, but George, another commander, refused. Before they could argue further, a message came in. The Human Academy of Superpowers had decided to wipe them out. They had already armed a nuclear bomb, set to detonate in 20 minutes. Jack ordered his people to evacuate, and he went alone to face the human army. Bullets poured down like rain, but Jack stood tall, shielding his people with his own body. When the smoke cleared, the soldiers realized the masked hero who'd been saving them all along was a zombie. Meanwhile, inside a secret lab, a mysterious scientist mutated another zombie. The mutation caught the attention of the human commander, Jenny. She sent her best warrior, John, to take it down. John succeeded, but then Jack arrived. Without hesitation, John attacked, but Jack overpowered him easily. Desperate, Jenny entered the battlefield herself. The two clashed fiercely, their power shaking the ground. In the lab, the scientist panicked. He triggered his final plan, remotely dropping the nuclear bomb early. Jenny tried to retreat, but her energy was completely drained. At the last second, Jack grabbed her and threw her back toward the plane. Then, as the bomb plummeted toward the ground, Jack leapt high into the sky, caught it with one hand, and stopped the explosion. He saved everyone, but can a zombie who saved humanity ever truly be accepted by them? To continue her family line, a beautiful woman added a skeleton to her harem. She invested massive treasures, helping the skeleton rebuild a human body. Then she told the man, "I can fulfill any wish you have, Jack." What she didn't know was that this skeleton was the strongest Azura in the game world. Even facing elite human warriors, Jack could kill them with ease. But just as Jack was enjoying the thrill of battle, a group of mysterious skeletons in black appeared and killed him instantly. When Jack woke up again, he found himself in a grave, with his level reset to 1. Before he could react, a strange, eerie laugh echoed. Jack assumed it was just an NPC, and nervously asked where he was. The necromancer, seeing Jack speak, thought he had summoned a rare elite skeleton, but when Jack ignored him, the necromancer became furious. He cast a spell, binding Jack and attempting to erase his consciousness, turning him into a loyal servant. In that critical moment, a tremendous force shattered the chains on Jack. A massive creature passed in front of him, devouring the necromancer without hesitation. Jack quickly summoned his elf assistant, who explained that he had entered the game world. Following the elf's guidance, Jack arrived at Blood Moon City. The crowd at the gates was massive, except for the red gate on the right, no line at all. Jack, never one to wait, ran straight for the red gate. The guards didn't stop him. Inside, Jack discovered a brutal tournament, where life and death were on the line. All the fighters were incredibly strong. Before he could adjust, Jack was automatically entered. The host announced the start of the fight, and to ensure fairness, all participants were adjusted to level 10. At level 10, Jack could finally unlock a new class. He immediately chose Assassin, having been the top assassin in every game he had ever played. The host then announced a special reward. Outstanding participants could become apprentices to one of Blood Moon City's 2 strongest figures. One was David, a notorious mob boss. The other was Jenny, the city's most beautiful and powerful woman. Would Jack survive in this deadly arena? In ancient times, silver hair was a symbol of royal blood, but after the old kingdom fell, and a new empire rose from its ashes, silver-haired people were declared sinners, and ordered to be killed on sight. To protect her daughter, a desperate mother dyed the child's hair black, and hid her in a narrow alley, but the soldiers had already found them. Knowing she couldn't escape, the mother went out to draw their attention, leaving her daughter behind, alone and terrified. Moments later, the sound of her mother's screams echoed through the dark streets. The next morning, in the crowded marketplace, the girl found her mother's severed head on display. That memory would haunt Jenny forever. Years later, while Jenny was bathing in secret, she was accidentally seen by the new king. Panicked, she rushed back to her chamber, fully expecting to be executed. But this king was different. He wasn't cruel like the ruler before him. He quietly returned her belongings to her door, and pretended he had seen nothing. He needed her alive, to help uncover the truth behind the death of a maid named Julie. So Jenny disguised herself as a servant, and entered the labor quarters to investigate. But before she could learn anything, she and her guards were ambushed. Though she knew a few protective spells, she was outnumbered. Just as she was about to fall, the king's hidden bodyguard appeared, and drove the attackers away. There, Jenny met Anna, a maid who once worked with Julie, but Anna could no longer speak. Her tongue had been cut out. Using her noble authority, Jenny forced the guards to let Anna go, and took her somewhere safe. Through writing, Anna revealed the dark truth. The former queen had killed the concubine, and Julie was only framed to take the blame. The new king's obsession with this mystery was deeply personal. When he was a child, his mother had been murdered by that same queen, and when he wept alone, it was Julie who comforted him. Julie had once been engaged to the man who now sought revenge. They were childhood sweethearts, but fate tore them apart. When Julie was chosen to serve in the palace, after her death, her fiancé infiltrated the palace to uncover the truth himself. When he finally did, he found Julie, but not as the woman he once loved. Now she was only a ghost. He reached out to touch her face, but his hand passed through nothing but air. At last, her spirit was freed from pain and regret. After one final, tearful goodbye, Julie's soul faded into the light, and the man was left alone, clutching only her memory. Do you also have someone you wish you could see one last time? 7 gorgeous women are chasing after one man, but instead of enjoying it, he runs away, because he's looking for his true love, Jenny. In his previous life, Jack awakened a monstrous gene, and the moment that happened, all 7 women abandoned him. In this world, about 20% of people carry the monster gene. Once it's detected, they're injected with a control chip, and from then on, they live under fear and discrimination. But Jack's case was different. His gene level reached 99%, making him a super demon. In that life, everyone turned their backs on him, except Jenny. She never stopped believing in him, even sacrificed her life trying to save the human side of Jack. Now reborn, Jack finally meets Jenny again. Overwhelmed by emotion, he wants to kiss her, but right then, the monster inside him wakes up. A brutal hunger to devour humans takes over. Terrified of hurting her, Jack turns away and runs. He heads straight to a shopping mall, buys a red cloak, and waits, because he knows what's coming. In his past life, a monster attack happened here soon. He's hoping this time, he can stop it. But when he approaches the monsters, they don't attack him. They think he's one of them. And before long, chaos breaks out. In this world, there are also people with special abilities. They formed an organization to hunt down monsters. As the monsters attack the mall, these superhumans rush in and seal off all exits. Among them is David, a brave fighter who loses his arm protecting a child. Even bleeding out, he refuses to give up. But when a monster ambushes him from behind, Jack suddenly appears. With a single punch, he sends the beast flying. To protect his identity, Jack knocks David unconscious. Then the monster leader appears. Jack unleashes his full power, ripping the creature apart. and devouring its energy. As the leader dies, the other monsters collapse too. The agents find David badly injured in the wreckage, but Jack is already gone. His power evolved even further. Now he's racing toward Jenny's home, because in just 3 hours, Jenny's transcendent gene will awaken, and if she loses control, she'll destroy the entire building. Even her face will be scarred forever. Jack arrives just in time. He carries Jenny to the rooftop, where she releases all the unstable energy at once. The city is saved. Then Jack finally confesses his secret, that he's becoming a monster. Jenny quickly covers his mouth, begging him not to tell anyone, because everyone with the monster gene has a bomb implanted in their body. Once they transform, it detonates instantly. But Jack isn't afraid. He knows one thing for sure. Jenny would never betray him. So tell me, if you could choose, would you rather awaken as a hero or a monster?